The Year of the River 2019 is the bicentennial celebration of the Ouachita River Valley to remember that 200 years ago, the outposts and settlements in the Ouachita Valley from Jonesville, Louisiana to Camden, Arkansas were first visited by the steamer James Monroe. In 2019, the Year of the River will be celebrated by communities that settled, survived, thrived, and have a future together by maintaining and cherishing the river. How will you participate in the year 2019? We want to explore and know our entire Ouachita River Valley and share our talents and knowledge up and down the river from Jonesville to Camden. The river and the steamboat first connected us. Let's celebrate those connections. What is the Ouachita River Valley? The Ouachita River comes or springs from the Ouachita Mountains near Mena, Arkansas, and flows through today's Lake Ouachita and Lake Catherine, and then slowly flows into Louisiana, where it joins the Black at the Jonesville and then the Red in the Mississippi, over 500 miles distance. The major tributaries to the Ouachita are the Saline from the north, the Bartholomew flowing southwestward into the Ouachita in Louisiana, the Darbone from the west, and the Beth paralleling the Bartholomew and turning south to enter the Ouachita in northern Catahoula, and the Tensas from the far east joins the Ouachita in Jonesville proper. The Ouachita Valley was a rich land, but it had nowhere to transport their people or products. But that was to change with the innovative riverman extraordinaire Henry Shreve. He was the superintendent of the Western Rivers, but he also was an intrepid inventor, and he modified the steamboat so that it was operable on more smaller, shallower tributaries, had more cargo space, carried passengers, and was extremely maneuverable. With that addition of consistent, reliable transportation, the Ouachita River Valley became the Kingdom of Cotton. Wealthy developers from Mississippi, the North, and the Upper South bought and cleared this land with slave labor. The dark yellow area was declared the most profitable cotton land in the world, and new marketplaces were formed after the planters became millionaires, and even the small hill farmers had coins in their pocket. Jonesville, Harrisonburg, Columbia, Trenton, Monroe, and Camden became major marketplaces along the Ouachita River. This led to new immigration of the mercantile class of European immigrants, Jewish and Italian, through New Orleans. But the Cotton Kingdom was also based on the Trail of Tears. The Indian Act of 1830, the Indian Removal Act of 1830, affected over 60,000 Indians across the Deep South, and millions of acres were made available to the cotton entrepreneurs. The Indians were removed from their land and marched westward to Oklahoma Territory. In the Ouachita Valley, 1,700 Choctaw Indians were moved up the Ouachita by steamboat to Camden and then marched to Oklahoma. In Ouachita Parish, Louisiana, Chief Tuskahoma, with a tribe of 50 families, sold their land in 1825 and moved westward. Another Trail of Tears included the Second Middle Passage. The cotton entrepreneurs needed immense amounts of slave labor to make the crops, to clear the land, to plant, and to pick. So the Upper South sold their slaves at a tremendous profit downriver to both cotton and sugar plantations. The slave population in the Washita Valley was increased from a few thousand to 180,000 during the time of the cotton boom. New Orleans became the fourth largest port in the world. All the cotton coming out of the Washita Valley and down the Mississippi went through the New Orleans port. New Orleans was fourth in the world after London, New York, and Shanghai. By 1860, 4 million bales of cotton worth $6.5 billion flowed through New Orleans. This was approximately 60% of the U.S. production of cotton, and the U.S. total cotton production accounted for 60% of the U.S. total exports. Then it stopped. Simplistically, we can say that the Civil War ended the cotton boom. By 1863, the federal gunships controlled the Washita, and the steamboats and cotton were confiscated or destroyed. During Reconstruction, the steamboating quickly revived and flourished through the Reconstruction period. In fact, their apex of profitability occurred in 1870, based on the emerging cotton industry and the resurgence of cotton growing through sharecropping. The burgeoning steam locomotive and railroad structure was rebuilt and expanded, and by the turn of the century, 1900, most of the steamer's cargo was usurped. At the time of the steamboat's demise, it was highly romanticized, both in books, plays, musicals, and Hollywood. The footage that you're looking at is the filming of an actual steamer on the Washita River, and the movie was Uncle Tom's Cabin, which premiered in 1927. The steamboat brought not only transportation, but it brought the industries and the power of the steam engine to our valley. The steam engine created jobs in transportation with the steam locomotive. The steam sawmills created whole communities. The cottonseed oil mill was a tremendous industry in the 1880s. The paper mills came in later in 1920s, but were up and down the river, and the subsequent paper products and the support industries. The roaring 20s on the river can truthfully be said were fueled by the natural gas discovered. Monroe, Louisiana, in northern Louisiana on the Washita was considered the capital of the world for natural gas production. Paper mills were also built in the 20s, first in Camden, Bastrop, then Crossett, and Monroe. The daring young men and their flying machines came home from World War I and insisted that airfields be built. Travis Oliver in Monroe got Selman Field built, and that was named after his fallen colleague. Also in the 20s, striking architecture sprung up. Public buildings like high schools and courthouses, multi-story hotels, and even innovative private homes. Today, the river's not just beautiful, but it is a powerful economic driver that needs our support. A recent study released in December of 2017 estimates at 5.66 billion annual impact on the lower river to our communities. But the caveat is that we must maintain and regain the service at the locks and dredging to ensure adequate flow for the effluents that come from our existing industries like paper mills and chemistry. If not, we would be reduced to a caretaker status and a ditch that simply might be sluggish and smelly. So, the year of the river, we must remember the past, we must appreciate the present, and ensure the future. Celebrate the river every day in 2019. Go ride the Ditty Ferry. Sing a song. Walk the levee. Take a picnic to the bank. Become a partner in celebrating the river for the whole year of 2019. Plan your Year of the River 2019 with this guide. Communicate with us through our website and tell us your plans. We would love for you to be a celebration partner. Contact us. We'd love to hear from you.